So, as you guys can tell, today, today we will be reacting to 6 most disturbing forest encounters caught on camera by Chilling Scares. Okay, Chilling Scares. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, guys, let's just get straight into the video. Honestly, bro.
In January 2015, a group of New Zealand film students were recording outside their school at Auckland's Parnell railway station. The footage you're seeing now was recorded by a student named Chris Muir. For a few minutes, Chris and his friends were messing around and having fun as they filmed. But that's when the group spotted a man and a woman wearing creepy white masks hiding in the tall grass next to
What
the
the?
station and staring ominously at the camera.
What the hell?
As it was later revealed, Chris and his buddies
Bro,
first
what
thought
the
that the
freak?
masked people were probably pranksters from the school trying to creep them out, which is why they can be heard laughing throughout the footage. However, the students later confessed that it was more so nervous laughter and that they were actually pretty terrified during the encounter. Disturbingly, looking at the footage, they noticed that the couple appeared to be armed. In some of the clips, it looks like one of them is holding a pistol.
Oh, hell nah. Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had a gun and I was in that situation and I saw those two pop out of the grass, I would immediately shoot them, bro. Like, what? Bro, like, no, bro. I'm immediately shooting. Bro, what the hell? Like, nah, bro. We're not having that today. Anyways, back into the video.
Where's the other one? Where's the other one? I don't see him. As soon as the suspects got a little too close for comfort, the group ran back to the main road, after which they reportedly saw a police chopper approaching the area of the incident.
Damn.
It's not entirely clear who called the cops that day, but based on my research, this wasn't the first time the couple had harassed the public with their creepy masks and weapons. Earlier that week, they had terrorized a woman at Auckland's Domain Park, but left before the police were able to arrest them. When the cops arrived at the train station, Chris and his friends gave them the report, after which the Auckland Police Department uploaded a Facebook post where they urged the suspects to come forward and warned civilians to stay far away from the masked couple if they saw them. They also cautioned that if they saw someone carrying what appeared to be a weapon, they had no way of knowing if the weapon was real or fake and would be forced to approach the situation as if it were real. Shortly after that, the suspects reportedly came forward to talk to the cops. Throughout the investigation, the authorities didn't release a whole lot of information to the public about who these people were, whether their weapons were real, or what their intentions were. But one thing we know for sure is that this wasn't just an innocent prank. In fact, when a lot of people online started accusing the students of staging a prank just to get attention, a spokesperson from the school came forward to clarify that the masked suspects had nothing to do with the institute. According to an article from Vice, a police spokesperson later confirmed that the weapons were fake. But I wasn't able to find any official confirmation of this, and to this day, not a lot of people know who the suspects were or why they were terrorizing the public for no reason.
Damn.
Whatever the case, it's a good thing Chris and his friends were able to get away before things took a turn for the worse. Near the base of Mount Fuji in Japan lies a forest that's known among the locals as the Sea of Trees. Interestingly, the entire forest grew out of a 30 square kilometer patch of
I
hardened
think I know.
lava that was
Hold on,
laid
hold on. I
down.
think I know what this forest is. Isn't it like the suicide forest in Japan? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Like, people go there in that forest, and they just like kill themselves. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
By the last major eruption of Mount Fuji. A little more disturbingly, though, over the years, the Sea of Trees has become known as a place where people go to take their own lives.
Yeah, I was
And if
right.
you venture far enough into the
Yeah.
forest,
Hold
it's
on.
not uncommon at all to find a body. Near the entrance of the forest, a sign written in Japanese reads, "Quietly think once more about your parents, siblings, and children. Please don't suffer alone, and first reach out." In July 2017, urban explorer and YouTuber Burbex ventured into the forest to see what he'd find, walking his viewers through his entire journey into the Sea of Trees. But even though the video starts out tame enough, just a few minutes into his exploration, the uploader comes across an abandoned bike, and that's when things get a little disturbing.
I'm only a few meters away from the road right now, but I've already found an abandoned bike. It's actually a pretty nice bike. Let's take a look at it. I don't think it's been here a long time. What do we got in here? And it's a packet for a knife.
Oh.
I think I've just found some kind of note in a bag. It says 1211. I can't quite make out. I think this is somebody's name just here. And I'm not sure what this means.
On top of the bike, Burbex finds an empty piece of packaging for a kitchen knife, and a few minutes later, he comes across a note written on a plastic bag. The note translates to 1211 verified, Fuji Yoshida Police Station verified, meaning it's likely evidence of someone who abandoned their stuff to take their own life in the forest, confirmed by the local police station. It's
Oh.
incredibly
Damn.
haunting to think how many lives have been lost in that forest over the years, and even more disturbing to think that any random passerby could easily find the body while exploring the terrain. Over the years, the Japanese government has implemented several measures, such as placing security cameras near the entrance to track those who walk inside, as well as training volunteers to talk to the visitors who are thinking of taking their lives. Still, this hasn't stopped people from following through with it, and the fact that the media has really played a big part in sensationalizing the forest in recent years hasn't helped either. In early 2023, a man named David Meredith was taking his usual evening stroll through his neighborhood in Red Deer, Canada, when he suddenly saw a bull moose eating next to a tree. Hoping to
What?
catch a better glimpse, he hid behind the tree to watch.
Oh.
And that's when the moose
Oh.
turned around
Bro,
and
what?
started charging at him.
Sorry. Hold on, sorry. I was a bit confused when he said ball moose. Is ball moose a type of moose or something? I don't really know, man. I don't really know. Anyways, I'll have to do my research.
To understand how incredibly dangerous this is, keep in mind that an adult male moose can run faster than 35 miles per hour, which is almost twice as
I
fast
thought he
as the
said
max
ball
speed for the
moose,
average
bro.
human
No,
male.
it's just
Even though
moose.
moose aren't generally aggressive,
Bro,
they
come
can
on.
easily trample and kill a human if they feel threatened, which is probably what happened here. Fearing for his life, David hoisted himself up the tree next to him to avoid getting stabbed by the moose's antlers.
He just ran me up a tree.
As soon as he was out of the moose's reach, he started recording. For about 30 seconds, the moose just stares at David, and you can hear the uploader's nervous breathing as he waits for the moose to leave. But shortly after, the moose starts charging back and forth with its head down, which is a clear sign that it's stressed and would probably trample David if he were to come down or fall from the tree.
Is the moose trying to kill the guy recording? Or, like,
Based on what he mentioned
does
to
it
the
not
news
understand?
station that interviewed him a couple of days later, David stayed in the tree for over 10 minutes waiting for the moose to leave him alone. When asked how he climbed up the tree, he demonstrated how he pulled himself up by a flimsy-looking branch, which is honestly one of the most concerning parts of this whole situation. That branch breaks, and David would have been at the mercy of a very angry moose and might not have lived to tell the tale. Luckily, after seeing that David wasn't coming down, the moose finally gave up and ran off, thanks to which the uploader was able to come down safely after waiting it out for around an
Okay, so
extra
the
half
moose was
hour.
basically trying to kill him, bro. The moose was trying to
In
kill
February
David.
2018, a man named
Okay,
Greg Harris
like,
uploaded a GoPro video of himself riding his ATV on an unnamed trail. For the first
oh,
few
I think I've
seconds, the
seen this
footage
clip
shows pretty much
before.
exactly what you'd expect from this kind of upload.
Wait,
But in the blink of an eye,
no,
something extremely
I've never seen that clip before. Alright, yeah.
disturbing interrupts Greg's ATV ride.
Barbed wires.
you didn't catch it, someone had set up a metal wire between the two trees, which got caught in the uploader's helmet and forced him to stop. It's pretty disturbing to think that if Greg hadn't been so lucky, he could have been decapitated by the wire. Fortunately, as mentioned in the video description, his speed, along with the wire hitting his helmet instead of his neck, caused it to break as he passed through it. It might seem shocking that anyone would even think of doing something as incredibly evil as setting up a lethal booby trap
Yeah,
in the middle
like,
of an
what the
ATV
fuck?
trail, but sadly, it's actually pretty common in the dirt bike and ATV community. Sometimes these wires are set up by people trying to keep bikers off their property. Others are set up by psychos who get irritated by the noise and decide to use violence to fix the issue. And the rest are set up by people who are just messed up in the head and want to bring harm to others for no reason. In this
Yeah,
case,
like,
it's
the
impossible to
hell?
tell who was responsible for setting up the trap. This is just one of those videos where if the wire was set up just slightly lower, the accident could have easily been fatal. Luckily, he was able to walk away with minimal injuries, and he used his video as a way to warn others to watch out for these kinds of traps, especially when riding through trees.
Bro, people are actually sick.